Hello, welcome. If you're listening on the podcast, hi, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Um, you know, as always, the podcast questions are, like or subscribe, rate, and review if you enjoy these podcast episodes. And if you're watching afterwards on the Spencer Scott Pugh Live YouTube channel, hi, sorry we missed you. We go live on the main Spencer Scott Pugh channel every Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. and then I re-upload the recording to the Spencer Scott Pugh Live channel. At some point, once a lot of you have subscribed over there, we'll start going live over there just to keep the lives separate from the main channel. But for now, the bulk of my audience is here on Spencer Scott Pugh, and so this is where we're going to go live for the time being. That is the system that we're working with. So yeah, if you're watching live, hi. I see 3-4 people are watching. Hello. Feel free to say hey in the chat, say where you're watching from. And we're about to just dive into notes. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the show, basically I take notes and thoughts and ideas throughout the week. I put them into Notion, and then on the live streams here, I just talk through them, and we talk through them. And I hear your all's ideas, share my ideas, and it's pretty laid back. We usually go about 40-45 minutes. And it's been a good time so far. I've really enjoyed chatting with you all. So without further ado, thank you again for listening and watching. And let's just dive right into my notes of the week. So I mentioned this a few minutes ago. Good morning, David. David Goolidge is back. David shows up every week. Glad to have you, man. Hope you're doing well. So diving right into the notes here. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, I'm still struggling with anxiety and around balancing work, my personal brand, family, and leisure. Yeah, so I think it's a sore point in my life right now, and I think ever since I started, my adult life, my professional career, whatever you want to call it, it's been a big struggle of mine to try and balance work and family. And it's funny, I'll share a story. Back in high school, I think it was either high school or college, early college. I was talking to my best friend at the time, Ben Kolb. He's all around the world these days, and I don't get to see him much at all, but we were really close friends back then, and we were talking about the idea of balance in life, and it's a theme that has followed me throughout my life ever since then. The idea of a balance, and the balance in this specific setting, meaning the balance between family and how we want to love and serve our family, and then how we want to work to make the world better or leave a footprint on the world, or I guess that's an inappropriate term, but how we're, both are good things. We always wanted our work to mean something and to help the world and leave it a better place. At the time, I was very much into music. So how do I help the world through music? Currently, it's, how do I help the world through agenacare here, my personal brand. And so they're both very important, but if you spend all of your time with your family, which is great, you should spend as much time with your family as possible. Obviously, you can't help the world so much. Now, if you spend all your time at work trying to help the world, your family suffers, right? So balance, always. And I think it's a very, kind of Buddhist idea of balance in the yin and the yang of life. But I think, to some extent, it makes sense. And even, I've mentioned before on these live streams, I'm a Christian. And so when I think about anything like this, it's rooted in the Bible and God being sovereign. But I think even under that, loving God and loving others, there's a balance, and you can't, I can love others well here at work, loving the world as far as the people in it. but then I'm not loving my family. So there's always this balance. And I think getting back to the point here, I have ups and downs. I can be really selfish and be concentrating just on myself and my career and what I'm trying to accomplish, and then my family hurts. I can be really focused on family or leisure time, which I don't focus on that as much at all, really at all. And then, my job, I lack in my job skills and my passion at my job because I'm focusing on other things. So, by the way, I'll get to this hopefully today. I found a new YouTuber, and she this summer has been drinking tonic and coffee, or espresso. Whoa. I don't know why I've never thought of it, but game changer. So this is just sparkling water with coffee in it this morning, and it's like so refreshing. But I want to put like some lemon in there or something. I think that's what she does, and I can imagine that tasting pretty good. So anyway, yeah, I've been struggling with that, and I think I always am. I think I have highs and lows. Like, I think it's always a struggle, but like recently it's been more of a struggle, especially with the personal brand and YouTube, trying to focus on how, I can work on this stuff, which I really enjoy, but not spend that much time on it at all, so that I can really focus on my work. And it's not like I don't enjoy agenacare. I enjoy it so much. So just trying to find the balance between those two things, and at the end of the day being able to put both of those away and focus on family, Maria, Lena, relationships with friends. That's something too that I didn't write down, but I want to try, if I can, this is an idea I have, I want to try and each week meet or talk with or engage in a conversation with one friend. I've made some new friends recently, I guess acquaintances more so than friends, but hopefully they turn into friendships. And I want to make it a point each week to work on those relationships, because I think especially, they can have a positive impact on my life, and I hope that I can do the same for them. And it's been a while since I've really had close friends that I hang out with regularly. I would say since I left college, honestly. I think the closest thing probably was my neighbor, Michael Freedy. When we got to know them, I was hanging out with him quite a bit before Lena came around. And we were hanging out a lot, and that was nice. Getting into a lot of stupid stuff, though. So I think recently I'm wanting to focus on the relationships, the new ones that I'm building. And, all my college friends, I love them dearly, and I still would hang out with them every day. Life's just hard, and I think, too, in adulthood, just making the effort and like setting aside the time is something you have to do, which in college, like my best friends were down the hall, they were in the same apartment as me. So like I get bored studying, I just go talk to one of them, and like it's very easy. And it's just ideal, like they're just right there, and you could go eat together. We could be like, hey, let's go do something because I'm bored. Let's go play video games, whatever. Nowadays, it's like even my, good friend John, that I lived with in college, he's across town. And so it'd be very easy for us to hang out once a week. It's just a matter of like planning that time. And, it's going to be time away from Maria or Lena. So it's just planning. And so I want to each week try and focus on a friend, if that makes sense. Maybe multiple friends, who knows? But that's something I've been thinking about. So, wow. I hope you guys can help support me in the anxieties that I'm facing between balancing all these things. And if you're also, struggling with that stuff, I understand. I'm there with you. I'm trying to work through it as well. So, hopefully we can encourage one another to figure out that balance and work through it. So, next thing, I've loved the live streams. Yeah, there's not thousands of people watching these, you know. Right now there's 4. David's the only person who's commented, and I don't know. It could just be one person. It could just be no one watching live, and then when I re-upload, just the fact that people are watching, period, it's very therapeutic for me. I think, I mentioned further down here, and I'll just go ahead and say it, like the past however many live streams I've done, there was a lot like on my mind that I don't even think I told anyone. It was just, these are just thoughts that have been circulating in my head for a long time, and just to get them out anywhere, down on paper, out into the world, internet, it's so helpful. It's literally like I'm in therapy. And yeah, there's no one, besides you guys every once in a while chiming in with a comment. There's no one really like helping me like therapy would, but it's just nice getting my thoughts out. And that's something I've always heard, I've always read is just get what's in your head down on paper, or on video or on audio, whatever it might be. So who do we got? Earlbert, is that how you say your name? Good day from PH. PH, can you help me with PH? Maybe I'm just dumb. PH. Hi, good day to you as well. I think I'm just blanking on PH. It's funny, there's a high school called PH, Patrick Henry, right by my house, and that's all I can think about. Philippines. That's what I was thinking. Philippines. Hey, it's great to have you. What time is it there in the Philippines? Because I feel like it's probably nighttime. It's 7:30 a.m. here on the East Coast. It's good to have you, man. Hope you're doing well. We're just chatting. So I really enjoy these live streams so much. I look forward to them every week. I get like Sunday night, 7:46 p.m. Yeah, that's crazy. So literally 12 hours ahead of right now. That's awesome. Thanks for tuning in, man. I hope you're doing well. Feel free to keep chatting. Thanks, man. He says he hopes I'm doing well as well. Will this show? No. So when I do this, the chat will show up on the left, which I'll just go ahead and open it up. That's fine. And if I'm gonna hopefully have time here to hop into my Notion setup. Do I even have that? Yes, I do. It's here in a few minutes. When I hop into my Notion setup, I'll take the chat away. So, over here, the chat will start rolling. So if you guys want to keep commenting, I should have had that on. But anyway, love these live streams. Love you guys. Thanks so much. So, I want to talk about my new friend from Bangladesh. Sorry. His name's Abdul Mumin Faisal, and he's asked me to call him Faisal, which I think is a really interesting, cool name. Basically, Faisal, he knows the ins and outs of YouTube SEO. So tagging, description writing, keyword research, stuff like that. And I've had some really cool conversations with him on Instagram. Getting to know him a little better. I found him on Fiverr. I was looking for someone to do the SEO type stuff and research that for me. And he popped up. And, on Fiverr, you never know. There's people who do minimum amount of work and then take your money. So, I usually try and see, like, is this a person? Like, can I hold a conversation with them and really talk about the services they're going to provide? And he was very much, like, right off the bat, like, very talkative and like, hey, this is why I do what I do. This is why I am better than other people who do the same sort of work on Fiverr. And then we just started chatting about, like, our lives, and we were sending pictures back and forth of the areas that we live in. He lives in Bangladesh. It's beautiful over there. We even talked about what our countries are going through, stuff like that. I don't know, it was cool, and getting to know him. He has a little 10-month-old nephew, and my daughter's 10 months old, so it was cool getting to talk to him. He's been really cool. He works quickly, and he's even going to start helping us on the Finisher Secret stuff, I think. I love his work. I think it's great. So Shout out to Faisal. I don't know if he watches my content or not, but he's in Bangladesh, so I think he's 10 hours ahead. So I guess he's 5:46 or 5:50 where he is. But yeah, cool guy. And it's cool getting to hire out work that I can do but don't really want to because it's kind of a time suck. To someone around the world. Like, it'd be one thing to just ask Maggie to do it. But to find someone around the world, like even, Earlbert, like the fact that you're 12 hours ahead, it's cool getting to talk to you, that's neat. So wherever you are in the world, if, I don't know, it's cool what the internet can do at times, connect people from all walks of life, all around the world. It's really interesting to me, and I've really been enjoying that. So Faisal, thank you for the work that you do. Next point here is agenacare, back to the basics of what I do. Yeah, so, so when I started here at agenacare, I was very much hired to do digital marketing. And I found some space that wasn't being filled as far as work that needed to be done on an executive level. So the reason why it's confusing, like basically what I'm trying to say is I saw some ways to improve the company at large that weren't being addressed, I guess. Or maybe Whitney had thought about them and addressed them, but there was no one to do that work. So I quickly found, aside from the marketing work I was doing, a way for me to help structure the company around basically like a skeleton of an idea, making sure that people were doing the job that they were most naturally equipped to do. So it was a lot of like formative work that I was doing. Once that got set up, it was kind of that workload came back a little, and I had not neglected, well, maybe neglected the marketing work, and Maggie took on a lot of the stuff that I was doing as well. So currently, I'm still aware and part of the leadership team that makes big decisions for the company, but I'm pulling back a little bit to focus on marketing again. I mean, it is, after all, my position here as the director of marketing. Maria's texting me funny stuff about Lena. But I'm trying to focus back on that because I think the work and the setup that I was doing took a lot of my time and a lot of effort, and it was a lot of like upfront work basically. And now that it's been sort of resolved, now I have more time, and I'm like, well, I need to focus back on marketing. So that's what I'm thinking. I still love all of the executive type of decision making within the company, and Whitney being basically, she's becoming a serial entrepreneur. She's starting all these different companies and ideas, and she's bringing me along to some extent on a lot of them. And so getting to help with that and thinking about that, and also from the marketing standpoint saying, okay, let's talk about this, let's make this decision, and then how are we going to roll that out? Oh, there's my wife, Maria. I don't know, I used to call her Medea Millardo. Her name's Maria Miller, so that's what her YouTube channel is. Hi, thank you for watching. I hope you're watching with Bina. We call each other daddy and mommy now that we're parents. But wow, that really distracted me. I don't even know where I was. Anyway, fun stuff at agenacare. Trying to focus more on marketing again. So really diving into that, which is cool. My new Instagram strategy. Yeah, so social media is hard for me. I don't thoroughly enjoy it like a lot of people do. Like Maggie, for instance, like just loves social media. Like she just loves consuming content. And that's not me. And so when I think of social media, it's how do I use the platform to further my brand, basically. And I might have talked about this on a recent live stream, but when Instagram came around, to my knowledge, it was a photo platform, right? It was share great photos, be artistic and share your photos. And then you came to the point where there were like really great photographers on Instagram. And then it wasn't just about each individual photo. It was about that grid and making the grid aesthetic really nice, matching certain tones, colors. And so it just became this big, like, for me, Instagram became the grid itself. How do you make the grid look good? Because it's when someone visits your profile, it's the first thing they see. And if it's like, ooh, that really looks good, that 3x3 right there looks really good, that's why they follow. A lot of times, that first impression. So Instagram for the longest time was, how do I create the aesthetic? And it's not just taking good photos over and over again, because sometimes those photos don't go well next to each other and stuff like that. So that's what Instagram became for me, in the struggle to make that look good all the time. And then other people use Instagram as a social media, as, hey, we went on a trip last weekend, here's a picture I took of the family. And so I think, and I've done this before, but I think my new strategy for Instagram is literally just sharing. I think my main content, my big stuff is the YouTube, my website. Starbucks, please sponsor me. YouTube, the website, those are where I have my big time content. And I think I'm going to use Instagram more as just, if in between vlogs, in between live streams, in between main channel content, if you want to know what I'm up to, check Instagram. That's kind of what I'm doing with Instagram. And it's funny. Maria will tell you, like, a lot of these ideas that I'm having, she's had for years, and she always tells me, and I'm like, yeah, but making up excuses. But Maria's she's my agent. She knows actually what I should be doing at all times. And that's so true. Did you talk about me being anti-system? No, I didn't. Also share pics of cute babies. Yeah, that always wins. Yeah, Maria's always like, on Instagram, share pictures of your baby. Share pictures of me. Share pictures of our family. Because that's what people want to see. And that's what friends want to see. But I'm always like, yeah, but the people who follow my productivity videos don't want to see pictures of babies, which is very true. And again, on the main YouTube channel, when I shared the vlogs from when my baby was born, I was like so obsessed with the idea of vlogging that, and I lost like 300 subscribers from it. Like, people who sign up for bullet journaling don't want to see my baby, which, shame on you. I don't know, you're missing out. So, but yeah, Maria's on this big kick right now about being anti-system. I don't know. I feel like that's a conversation for another day. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put that down. Maria is anti-system. We'll talk about that next time. Look at that. Robert says, we love seeing baby pictures. Good, man. That's good. Thank you for being supportive of that. We'll talk about that another day, Maria. Anti-system. It's a pretty interesting conversation, actually. So, but I need to like leave you hanging on that. You gotta look forward to the next episode. Makes me sound like anarchy. Yeah. Is Maria an anarchist? Tune in next live stream to find out. That's what we'll do. She's not an anarchist. Or is she? All right. Moving along. We might even get that out today. I don't know. We're kind of moving quickly. The Witcher Season 2. This is where Maria's going to be like, peace out. I just wanted to talk briefly. Very excited for The Witcher Season 2. After watching the first season of The Witcher, I started listening to the audiobooks. So cool. I really enjoyed the experience. Like, while I was mowing. It's weird. I listen to so many audiobooks while I'm mowing, and it takes about an hour each time, that I literally can go out in the backyard, like with Buddy or something, when I'm not mowing, and the second I like step in the grass, I'm like reminded of the current audiobook I'm listening to. So like for when we first moved into the house, I was listening to the audiobook for Game of Thrones. And so like I could like hear that narrator's voice, and it was really weird. Anyway, so that was such an aside. I enjoyed listening to the Witcher audiobook after watching the season and knowing sort of where the book was going to go because of the season, and then sort of comparing, wow, this happened a little bit different in the book than in the show, or they didn't even include this in the show. Do you think they'll include it next season? So it's been funny. There's a couple things that happened in the first, I think, couple books, which are actually just a bunch of short stories about Geralt. And I think they're going to include a couple of those short stories in season 2 as well, which is funny because I missed them when I listened to the audiobook. I was like, whoa, this short story is really cool. Why didn't they put that in there? And so now watching the trailer, I think I've seen bits and pieces of those, and I'm really excited because those are really cool stories. So The Witcher's cool. I can do without all the gross stuff, but the story is super interesting. And I've made it through the first actual novel, which I think was The Blood of Elves, which season 2 picks up on, I think, more about Ciri and where she comes from and her powers and all this stuff. So I'm excited to see how they roll that out. But moving on. That's just a little bit of something nerdy, something I'm excited about. Finisher Secrets is a fun project. Yeah, so I've told you guys before, what happens if I do this? That's cool. You can like pop out. Let me give David a little shout out for good morning. That was David's this morning. Yeah, back to it. Sorry, got distracted. Finisher Secrets. Yeah, so I've talked about this in a previous live stream. I'm working with Javier. He lives in Florida. He started a company called Finisher Secrets, and they make a journal. Let me grab it. The Finisher's Journal, which is really cool. I've talked about it a little bit before, and he's not paying me to talk about it, but kind of is, because I'm working with him to make fresh content for their brand. We're doing content for their YouTube channel, as well as some TikTok stuff every now and then, I believe. And this journal, he originally reached out and asked me to make a video just walking through it so that he could use that in email sends and stuff like that. Paid me for that. It was cool. After I made it, I just kind of put it on the shelf. But when I started working here at agenacare, I pulled it off the shelf and I was like, hold on, we're working on a quarterly basis here, and this is set up to be like quarterly goals. And it has been awesome. Like, it fits so well with what I'm doing right now. And it's made more for entrepreneurs, so people who have to hold themselves accountable to work and try to get more work and stuff and have those goals. But honestly, working for a company, it's perfect as well, because, within a company, usually you work on a quarterly goals basis, reporting on a quarterly basis. So, hey, I know the target audience is entrepreneurs, but if you have a 9-to-5 job, I think it'd be valuable as well. So I've really enjoyed working with them on these, first couple of videos we've done, because he has a whole team. So, he writes a basic script for a video. I go in and sort of lengthen it and create more of an actual script. So his is more bullet point talking points. I create a script. I come in on Thursday mornings. I shoot the video, edit it up really quick, like a light just edit with no graphics or anything, just making sure audio is good, making sure the pace and everything is good. I send that off to his graphic designer, who puts a bunch of like overlaid clips, graphics, text, things like that. And then once he's done, we upload, and then Foysel is now going to be doing the SEO for the videos. Once we publish the video, he has a guy who creates a blog post from the content that we made in the video that goes on their website. So it's like this big sort of conveyor belt assembly line of a video. And I think that's so cool, just being a part. YouTube for the longest time with me, up until recently, actually, I just did everything. And, I have an editor now. Shout out to Stephanie. And then I have an SEO guy now. Shout out to Faisal. So it's cool getting to work with a team on something that since 2009 I was doing all on my own. So that's been cool. And then Finisher Secrets is like just a whole separate community and a whole separate way of doing it. Like, I don't really talk to the other team members, whereas on my YouTube channel stuff, I'm talking to Stephanie, I'm talking to Faisal, and we're working through problems. But it's cool. I don't know. It's cool being a part of something, and then watching how it changes when it gets to other people's hands, I guess. I've been really enjoying that. So, excuse me. I was going to walk you through my Notion setup, which I can. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to pop the chat off here. And we're going to go like this. And I'm going to show you my Notion setup. So here I am down in the corner. Notion is really cool. So I've used Evernote in the past. I've used Bear in the past to do note taking. Notion goes beyond note taking. It's just Notion does a lot. Notion, I don't know. It's like your own personal website, for like a private website for all of your information. So this basically, what you're seeing now is, what I call my dashboard or my landing page. It's like the first thing that pops up. And from this dashboard, you can get to everything in my Notion. So as you can see here in work, I've got a little quote. I don't even know why that's on there. I think I saw it recently and threw it up there, but I've got my work section, my personal section, my side hustles, and my family section. I still think I could rearrange some of this quite a bit. I need to be like flipping back and forth here to see if you guys comment anything. Whoops, didn't think that through. But anyway, I'll go back and forth every now and then. So work, you can see I have agenacare house calls, I have agenacare aesthetics, Evenco, Spencer Pugh Media, and then my logbook. That doesn't belong there, but it's there. Personal, I've got my buying guide, which is things that I want to purchase, but having to go through a list of steps to make sure that it's worth purchasing. Maria's okay with it. I've waited a while after really wanting it. Being advertised to, you want to buy immediately. In the world of Amazon, I could want something today and have it tomorrow. So it's a way of waiting. And then once all these little boxes are checked off, maybe I'll walk through that another day. Once all these boxes are checked off, then I can buy it. It's just a matter of like being patient and making sure it's actually worth purchasing. And a lot of times, Maria will tell you this too, the things that I like to purchase are like way more expensive. She buys a bunch of like little things like clothes or gifts or things for Lena or a pair of shoes here or there. And they add up, but for me, it's like, I want, a new gadget. And so it's like, well, okay, you're going to be dropping a couple $100, like is it worth it? Stuff like that. So Castle Frankenstein is, I can go in here. It's kind of like, I don't use it that much, but whenever someone sends me an article or I find an article, I can throw it in here and potentially use it later for like a blog post or something. My journal, it's not something I do that often. But this is kind of, I haven't really used it that much. Thoughts expressed has been from these live streams. So after I shoot them, I throw them into the journal here. Any comments? No, just making sure. So anyway, these are what I do. I do like a basic intentions of the day, what happened, what I'm grateful for, stuff like that. Just little blog posts whenever I'm feeling like typing. My boost book, I think I've only got one thing in there, but I learned about this from somebody. I don't want to share that. Whenever someone gives me a compliment on the work that I'm doing or my personality or something, it sounds very narcissistic, but to be able to throw it into a boost book, and then when you're feeling down, like worthless or not great, not a great human, it's good to go back and be like, well, you know what? This person thought this of me. Maybe I should do that again, or focus on that because that made a difference in someone's life. So that's what a boost book is. My thoughts. This is where I put the notes for these live streams, like throughout the week. Like this is last live stream. I forgot to move them out. This is what we're going through today. So throughout the week, and you can see over here on the sidebar in my favorites, it's the first one. So I can just click there, whether it's on the computer or on my phone, and it takes me right to that section for the quick notes. Work, I can walk you through this. So I have agenacare house calls. We've got documents. We've got our leadership meetings. We've got all of our departments here. And then we've got our EOS. So I don't know how much I really want to show this stuff right now. I might in the future, but like you can see in marketing, we also have documents. We have our content calendar, which I can show that. Not a board. I want to look at calendar. So here's the content going out that Maggie's working on, stuff like that. Super cool. Our meetings, reporting on ads. Here, this is pretty cool. I probably shouldn't be showing this, but these are our contacts for if we ever want to run a commercial or be on the radio or have billboards, or this guy can do blog posts. So just having those contacts, those resources there to be able to call from if I'm like, how would we run a commercial again? Who's my contact for that? So just having that database. Same thing for aesthetics. It's a little bit more bare bones here because, we're not as established in the aesthetics as we are the house calls right now in terms of structure of the company. So, but same kind of thing. Leadership meetings. We have our operating system, our company scorecard, which is cool. Any comments? Nope, we're good. Having to bounce back and forth here. Spencer Pugh Media. This is, my, what do you call it? Freelance work. If someone needs a website done, video shot, photos, some social media consulting, something. That's where I put that. My logbook actually exists on my website, so I don't actually update it. YouTube, we can check this out. So I've got my sponsorship CRM, which is, people who want to sponsor videos. I can add their contact info there, what their like rules are and stuff. My video ideas, I've got my ideas, my up next. They move along this pipeline as they're done. So if I'm writing, I'm ready to film it. I send it off to my editor. My morning routine is ready for SEO. My morning routine, I already did that. So that is actually added to website, which means that it's fully complete, I think. So as you can see, I moved this along. When it's with the editor, and then when it's uploaded, it's ready for Voicel to do SEO. Then I can schedule it out. It's published. I add it to my website. It's fully completed. So that's sort of a little, I don't remember what that board is called, but Trello is similar. Trello is what we use for Finisher Secrets. So I've got my blog, which is very similar setup. I have my ideas, what I'm writing, editing scheduled, ready to share, complete. Book. I'm writing a book, sort of. It's a book that I started writing when I was really little. That's a secret. I don't know why I just shared that. When I was really little, I started writing a book. And so, I decided to pick that back up, which is funny. David said, I need to start a buying guide. My latest want is a Breville espresso machine, and my wife thinks the prices are insane. Totally worth it, though. Yeah. I think it's kind of like a minimalist way of purchasing too. Minimalism when you're getting rid of stuff. You have this checklist, which I'd love to pull that back up and talk about that. I'm going to write that down. Minimalist checklist for removing items. it's the same thing as like getting rid of stuff as a minimalist. There's like a certain little checklist, but you're doing it proactively in your buying of stuff. So, yeah, I'll come back to that in just a second, David. I just want to finish up here. So Notion's cool because you can go as deep as you want. Like these are all just pages. And so I click into a page, and then on this page, I can click into a page, and then on this page, I can click into a page, and you can just keep doing that forever. It's crazy. It took, like, as you can imagine, I've had to set all of this up, and so that takes a while. But watching other YouTubers and how they do stuff, adding your quick links over here to your favorites, it's really cool. Everything that I do gets put in here. It's really neat. When I'm doing really well with my Bible reading, I'll actually take notes on it. And that's where this is. As you can see, the last time I did it was May 3rd. And before that, it was November. So I haven't really been doing that. I have been reading recently, which is good. But not taking notes, which I probably should be allocating more time to do the full process. Ideas, I don't know. I think that's, for the family, maybe trips and stuff, and then financial stuff. I won't share that, but even information, ongoing projects, meeting notes, company documents. I don't really do much in there. Mostly these days, I'm concentrating in my house calls page, my agenacare aesthetics page, and then I'm on YouTube. Those are and then thoughts are a big one. Those are kind of where I spend a lot of my time in Notion these days. So let's come back here. Boop. Blow me up. So David said, look at this. Boom. I need to start that's so cool. I need to start a buying guide. My latest one is a Breville espresso machine, and my wife thinks the prices are insane. Totally worth it though. Yeah, so maybe, David, do that. You've discussed it with your wife. How long have you wanted it? Maybe every time that you wish you could be using it, make a note. And then think like, what value, if you got something like that, how much would you save on not getting Starbucks? It's hard to focus on something that much, and maybe you shouldn't focus on something that much, but, I don't know. I think, starting a buying guide, it's something I did, saying like, a lot of things we buy, it's like you see the Instagram ad and you just buy it. And I don't know. I think it's good to sit on stuff for a bit and see how long you want it. Some things I think, after a couple weeks, you might even be like, I don't really need that. I thought I did because the marketing was good or whatever. But yeah, the Breville espresso machines are super cool. That's just my opinion. Don't take my word for that. Obviously, work it out with your wife. The price, they're expensive, but again, what value are you getting out of it? I like your profile picture. You guys look so cute. Yeah, good luck. Let me know if you get it. Let me know if you don't get it and why. So yeah, a few more minutes here. We can go on. So that's my Notion setup. Pretty simple, I think. There's a lot you can do with Notion, and usually I'll find in my working life or my life, I'll be like, man, I wish I had a place to put this, or I wish I had a calendar for that, or I wish I had some sort of board to display this. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, Notion, what would that look like? And I'll either look up other YouTubers who use Notion and sort of what they do for systems, which Maria hates, and then sort of make it my own. A cool thing about Notion too is like I could technically, like David, I could share my buying guide with you, and then in Notion you could copy the buying guide into your Notion and use it. So that's something cool about Notion too, is like you can make something public. People can't change your Notion, but they can take your Notion into their Notion and make it their own. which is super interesting. So stuff like that's really cool. And I've done that a couple times. Like Ali Abdal was the first person I saw using Notion. He had a calendar, or his was like that Castle Frankenstein, like a way of pulling in articles and podcasts and YouTube videos into one area, and then deciding, do I want to watch it? Do I want to take notes on it to make a video out of? So I copied his thing into my Notion, and I don't think I even have that anymore, but at the time it was really cool. So that's another cool thing about Notion. You can work on it with teams. You can assign it to your teammates. We have really bad reception, really bad Wi-Fi right now, apparently. I never know what to do. Okay, we're back. I don't know how that works. I don't know how long that's been going on either. So I apologize for the crappy audio for a bit. Hopefully you heard most of what I said. I wasn't paying attention to the network connection. So moving on. Alternate every Thursday between main channel content and finisher secret content. Yeah, so I've neglected the main channel for a while. Just because it takes a little bit of work to produce a video for the main channel. With Finisher Secret, it's great because I don't have to come up with the content. I simply create the content as far as like filming it, and then I send it off. With the main channel, those are very video essay format where I do research ahead of time. I create the script. I think of how I want to shoot it. I shoot it. I make the B-roll. I edit it. Then I do the SE. Like it takes a lot more time and effort. And so I've neglected that content. These live streams are easy. Plug and play. Talk to you guys. Take notes throughout the week. We're good. The vlog, super easy. Whenever I can just whip the camera out, I film what I, find is valuable to the vlog, and then I send it to Stephanie. She edits, sends it back. I upload. So yeah, I want to do some more main channel content because that's here. That's you guys, and that's where the largest following I have on the internet lives. 8,000 plus subscribers. So I want to make content for you all, and I see the potential and the value I could give. It's just a matter of how do I have the time to do that. So something I've thought about is with Finisher Secrets, I'm filming for them every other Thursday. And I was thinking that alternating Thursdays, I could maybe make channel content or my main channel content every other Thursday as well. We'll see. Another thought I'll skip. I think I put it here. Another thought I've had is these podcasts. I've talked to Stephanie, my editor, about maybe taking these podcasts and, like, for instance, the section that I just did on my Notion setup, if she could cut that section out and make its own video about my Notion setup or whatever, or my current Notion setup, that's a video that can stand on its own. Yeah, it was done in this podcast format, but I think there are bits and pieces of the podcast that could stick out as, its own content. So that's something I'm thinking about too, maybe for the main channel, is just using this as an opportunity to create that main channel content in an easier way, if that makes sense. So that's something I'm toying around with, thinking about. Obviously, for you guys watching right now, it wouldn't be anything new, but for others on YouTube, as far as getting my reach out there and helping others, those contents could stand on their own. Those videos could stand on their own. So something I'm thinking about. Again, going back to my first point of this episode or this live stream, it's the balance. I'm not trying to take up too much of my time doing this stuff. I want to do it, and I think I can do it. It's just a matter of the least amount of time I can spend on it to get the best content possible. So, all right, I added my first quarterly wrap-up blog post. Yeah, so some of you may know I've been doing daily. I will write sort of the highlights of the day. What did I get done at work? Like for instance, yesterday I wrote, we shot a couple podcast episodes. It went great. We had a couple good meetings, stuff like that. So every day I do that. And then recently I looked back at the entire quarter and I wrote a quick sort of really crappily written, but summary of all the main points from the quarter, the main highlights from those highlights, which is cool because the point of the logbook, which is what I'm calling it, is to be able to look back and say, what are the main things that I got done each day? Because I think a lot of times we lose sight of the work that we've done because we feel like we have no track of it. So we're like, man, I literally in the last month, I haven't done anything. But if you were to say each day, I did this, I did this, I did this, then that each day you did something moving that needle, towards your goals or whatever. And so that's just a lot. That's a little overwhelming. Like if my boss were to say, what have you done this quarter? And I just gave her all however many 90 entries of logs. So my goal is each quarter to write up sort of a summary. And then hopefully at the end of the year, write up a summary of the year. And so just getting the work done ahead of time to make it easier to remember these things and to be able to show my work. So I did my first quarterly wrap-up blog post, which you can check out on my website, spencerscottpugh.com, as well as all the other content I create, I put on there. It's a nice just little feed of my content. These live streams, the vlogs, Finisher Secret stuff, things that I take pictures of, blog posts. It's all there. It's all there. Speaking of that, I'll end with this. I really like my website right now. There's still a few things I want to move around, but as far as the overall look and feel and the fact that I'm putting all of my content on there as just like my diary of content that I can keep adding to from now until I'm dead, hopefully. We'll see what the internet does in that time. But wow, I've been going for almost an hour. Dang. I was afraid today that I didn't have enough talking points, but I'm not even close to being done. So make my website on Squarespace. Anything you want to find out about me, you can probably find there. I have ways of sifting through the content depending on category. So if you just want to watch some videos, you can do that. If you want to watch business related stuff, you can do that. If you want to read blog content, you can do that. As well as all of the technology and gear that I own that helps me make content and helps me to get my job done, you can find on my website as well. Just spencerscottpugh.com. Go through the navigation up top and, consume your heart out. I hope you do. I hope there's some helpful stuff on there. My logbook's on there. Ways of contacting me is on there. And then again, any piece of content I put out that I deem is good enough, I put on the website, which I've really been enjoying my content output lately. So that's going to do it for today. I appreciate you guys so very much for tuning in. If you're still watching live, if you're listening on the podcast, thank you. I don't know if these are providing much value. It's just more of a discussion. And again, it's therapy for me. So I appreciate you listening through. Our views on the podcast, or listens, I guess, are going up, which is cool. More people are hopping on board, which is great. More people are watching these live streams after the fact when I re-upload them, which is great. Make sure to subscribe to Spencer Scott Pugh Live to be able to watch these. And then again, at some point, I will start going live on that channel instead of this main channel. I appreciate you all so very much. I think that's all I got for you today. Thank you. I'll see you next Tuesday. Earlbert says, glad to have joined you today. Till next time. Yeah, thank you, Earlbert. It's nice to have new faces on here. So thanks for listening. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great week. Focus on the things that are important. See ya.